Okay.
Yeah, can we get going now?
Yes. So, a very warm welcome to all the chartered accountants and the team from Wipro. And I'm so happy to say that this is more than a decade old relationship which we have with Wipro, pioneered by Naren Nairji and Smita Madam and the human capital team from Wipro. Every after result, we have this session so that candidates can hear out from Wipro directly that what it is expected, what Wipro cohorts is all about, and ask questions. Today, we have with us the human capital team, Paridhi and Smita, Vishnupriya, and from the business side, we have Avi Jain. Let me introduce Avi Jain to you. He's a cohort from May 2016 and is currently serving as a senior manager FP&A. He has played a pivotal role in driving margin expansion through data led insights, leading initiatives in finance process reengineering, digital transformation, and business strategy. His diverse exposure across controllership, FP&A, and business finance has developed a cross functional perspective on Wipro's finance. Along with them, a fresh cohort is also with us, who is Aniket Kejriwal, who has joined Wipro in the cohorts of November 2024, and he will be joining for a pre-placement talk representing the recent batch. The flow of the session should be as follows, which I expect all the fresh chartered accountants to follow also. First of all, make sure by mistake you don't scribble on the screen, because I can see a couple of marks right now, the red and the yellows. Please remove that because that interferes with the overall presentation. First, the team from HR will take you through the basics, and then Avi will take you through of the overall program along with the deck. And then at the end, we will have some question and answers so that you can understand what it is all about, how to apply, and where to apply. Over to Paridhi and Vishnupriya.
Avi, we are good to start, right? So Vishnupriya will be handling the deck. She would be moving ahead with the slides.
Sure.
Yeah. Vishnupriya, we can go to the next slide then.
Avi, your camera is not working. If it's possible, if you can switch on your camera.
I tried doing, I think there's some driver integration issue with this browser version of Zoom.
Okay, okay. No
Yeah.
worries.
Yeah. So I think Deepak, thank you so much, for setting up the tone and the context. And I'm really excited to, meet this group of people. The heartiest congratulations, I would say, to all the chartered accountants who have recently qualified. So we are very excited to connect with them. The flow would be, in the first 15 to 20 minutes, I will run you through the deck, which covers what Wipro is all about, how we are structured, what is important for us. And then I will talk about the cohorts program. What does it have to offer you in midterm and in long term, and some of the testimonials that we have from some of the veterans who have been working with Wipro and who joined as cohorts. And we have Aniket as well to give you, a view on how his journey been in last 12 months as part of cohorts. So yeah, so I mean, I will first talk about who we are, what kind of business are we into, and what really matters for us in terms of conducting our the way we go about our work. Yeah, so we can go to the next slide, Vishnupriya. So Wipro, is a global giant. Like most of you must have heard about it. It's been in the business for many decades now. We started almost 8 decades back. We started as a palm oil refinery company, and later on, transitioned into an IT company somewhere in the decades of 80. And today, here we are, one of the leading IT giants. So we are in the business of global technology. There are multiple service offerings which cuts across the technology business, business process outsourcing business, consulting business, and high end engineering business. So I mean, we can go through the detail as in how we are exactly structured, but it's important, the way we are basically promoted. So 66% of stake of Wipro is being held by Azim Premji Foundation, which is a philanthropy, vehicle of Azim Premji. So you wouldn't see a lot of, IT companies, let alone IT companies, even, any other industry, who are basically into diverting their income or utilizing their incomes as part of philanthropy with a significant stake as 66%. So yeah, we can move to the next slide. Again, we have an employee base of 230,000 employees, and we have close to or a little more than 150 subsidiaries that we have. We have almost presence in 65 plus countries, and almost 149 or 150 nationalities. People are all the associates. These 230,000 associates are from almost all the nationalities. So uh, I mean, here we can see, that we have been recognized by multiple forums, including the Gartner. We've been rated among top in the Gartner Magic Quadrant for many years now. Um, so it's important, to understand. Basically, it's not only the numbers or the margins or the way um, uh, the engagement economics, but it's also important what are our key priorities, where do we put the integrity into equation, for example, the philanthropy into the equation, the brand value, the trust that customer has put on us. So these are some of the aspects that we take very seriously, and we have a lot of pride when it comes to all these things. We can move to the next slide. Yeah. So on the left side, you see the values and the culture. We commonly call these four pointers as spirit of Wipro. Uh, each associate is expected to conduct their work based on these important values that we define. The first one being be passionate about client success. Now we as finance folks, one may think that we are not directly interacting with clients in most of our roles, but it's not that we do not have any influence in the outcomes that client is going to observe. So when in a typical day of a finance folk, for example, I am responsible to submit a pricing deal, uh, let's say um, by end of day or by end of week. So I will work towards that outcome, so that there is uh, there is uh, a clear case of that I am passionate about client success. The second point is trust each person, treat each person with respect. So while there are many things about uh, I would say there are many things about um, just give me a second. Yeah. So treat each person with respect. It's important that we treat each individual, our peer, our senior, or our junior, with equitable respect. The third point is be global and responsible. So in this case, our conduct is not only about the work we are into or the function we represent. When we are working for Wipro, we are basically representing the entire company, unyielding integrity in everything we do. So integrity again becomes the foremost or the most important point in terms of our conduct. On the right side of this deck, we see five habits, again very relatable to what we covered as part of values. Here we have being respectful, being responsive, always communicating, demonstrating stewardship, and building trust. Yeah. So I mean, if anyone has any question, we can take a small pause and we can address it right away. And if you want to put in the chat, we can take it later on as well. Yeah. So this slide covers the operating model of Wipro. So here on the top, you see the strategic marketing units of Wipro, namely Americas 1, Americas 2, Europe, and EMEA. So this classification is mostly geography driven, as in uh, the business or the clients who are present in Americas region are, kind of being represented as part of Americas 1 and Americas 2. The clientele that is based in Europe is represented by Europe SMU, and the clientele which is based in Asia Pacific and Australia New Zealand region is basically represented here by EMEA. On the left side, you see another matrix of global business line, namely consulting, technology, engineering, and business process. So consulting uh, is more to do with the domain and consulting business. Technology offers all the big data, enterprise application, cyber security, cloud infrastructure, digital. All these skills are being represented by the technology business line. Again, it almost represents 70% of Wipro business. Engineering is a service line that offers high end engineering solution, for example chip designing or quantum computing. Business process is a global business line that is into the business of outsourcing. So if there is, let's say, a specific process of customer that we can transform, and we can basically do on behalf of customer, that gets covered as part of business process. So it's the strategic marketing unit and the global business line matrices are kind of two different matrices to look at the entire Wipro in two different perspective. So one from the industry sector or the region organized matrix, which is SMU, and second is the GBL, which is more to do with the solution offering that we also called as horizontal matrix. Yeah. Realizing ambitions for clients. So here we are talking about the big labels that we are partnering with. So Wipro currently has close to 17 mega clients where we are doing a revenue of more than $100 million per quarter. So these includes companies from the sector of, let's say, uh, energy, the sector of BFS, which is banking and financial sector. We have insurance giant, we have consumer giant. So all the big names that you usually identify in Fortune 500 companies are associated with Wipro. Currently we have more than 1300 plus clients who are active. uh, yeah. Yeah. So again, our thought process is that the top talent can come from any walk of life and all walk of life, and we are kind of very inclusive in our talent development. So we don't impose, or we don't I would say we don't discourage any individuality of an associate, and we want them to be their true self to get the best outcome from them. Yeah, we can move to the next slide. Yeah, so I think this is the most important point in terms of today's discussion, which is the CA cohorts program. So out here we are seeing there are 6 or 7, or rather 8 major departments that we have categorized, namely audit, tax, controllership, treasury and investor relations, financial planning and analysis, secretarial, business finance, and business support. So we will go through each one of them and try to understand how does a typical day in these personas life look like. For example, audit. So here again we are talking about an internal audit team which is internal to Wipro. So this team reports to the audit committee of Wipro. They are responsible to basically conduct periodic and special audits to identify and address any potential dilution of any risk or control lapse. So as a cohort, you get to work with a very dynamic team of internal auditors. They are close to 50-member team. So they do get special assignments. They do get seasonal assignments, and the job here would be to understand the business process, to understand the key risks associated to that business process, to come up with the best solutions, how those risks and control dilution can be best addressed, and to have an opportunity to implement those solutions that you're proposing. So here you get to learn in detail a specific business process over a period of, let's say, 8 weeks or 12 weeks. Usually the engagements are 8 to 12 weeks and sometimes more, depending on the complexity. You get to interact with business leaders, function leaders, and many different cross functional teams to understand the get to the nth level of detailing of a process. And it also involves a lot of proactive thinking, a lot of, I would say, scenario handling in terms of exceptions, what can go wrong in a certain process, and come up with very logical solutions. So very interesting role again. Tax is basically structured into India and global tax again are very I would say uh, geographically categorized. There is a different Americas team, there is a different LATAM team, there is a different Europe team, and so on. For India, there are two major teams: direct tax and indirect tax. Again, a lot of this will involve application of what you have studied during your course. Um, a lot of time will go into data preparation, data creation, and data analysis, but a lot of time will also go into to analyze a case study, to think of how a certain scenario would play out in Wipro's parlance, to come up with case studies, and uh, to create basically to have an opportunity to present to leadership how evolving scenarios, for example the recent tariff, how that will play out for Wipro, or how that will play out for an IT industry in general. So again, very interesting role. It's going to be very, I would say, it's going to be very interesting for people who have deep interest in tax, and you will get to interact with a lot of seasonal and veterans. I would say you will get to interact with a lot of specialists. We have a very senior tax team. Some of the people have spent actually maybe 15 to 20 years in the subject. So you will get to you will have a lot of opportunity, learning opportunities in terms of understanding uh, India tax, foreign taxes depending on the countries, and you will get to, in fact, get an opportunity to implement what you have studied in your textbooks. Controllership. So controllership again is a very complex function. It has multiple towers. One is the bookkeeping part, which is again a very large team of more than 100 people. Then there are one is the main Wipro Limited, the main company. They have a separate controllership team, and then there are subsidiaries, 150 plus subsidiaries. Each of these subsidiaries have their own controllers. The responsibility of a controller is to ensure that there is no material misstatement in the books, to get the books audited on time, to do a run rate analysis in terms of how the P&L is looking like, to ensure the balance sheet is not incorrectly inflated or deflated. uh, Again, to set up controls, to ensure the controls are effective, or to keep testing the control whether it is working or not in terms of process. It could be a collection process, it could be payroll process, it could be procurement process, it could be anything, right? But as a controller, if you are handling an entity, you are responsible to ensure the entity is well compliant to the internal as well as external factors. So that is just one part of controllership. The other towers include revenue assurance. Again, very interesting subject to be in. Here, you are responsible to ensure that revenue is not incorrectly recognized in the books. So you will get to deal with large contracts, complicated contracts. You are going to apply proper IFRS guidelines into it, and you will see whether revenue is properly recognized or not. uh, the third tower is consolidation. So once all the companies, including Wipro Limited and all its subsidiaries, have closed their books for a given month or for a given quarter, all the data gets consolidated by a 5-member consolidated consolidation team. So again, very I would say technical job, a lot of learning. You get to interact with a lot of people across all subsidiaries, and again, how do you handle large volume of data? So very interesting topic. Then comes the financial reporting team. Financial reporting team is the team who is responsible to prepare the financials for Wipro. They have a significant say in terms of how we are going to report financials as well as qualitatives in our annual report, as well as quarterly data sheets and press release. There's another tower called SOX and GRC. So SOX, again, it is to do with the Sarbanes-Oxley Act. We are very serious about compliance of SOX, and GRC is the governance risk team. So they, again, is an extension of Wipro's adherence to compliances. We have internal audit, we have SOX. SOX team separately, working on many of the SOX processes that we have laid out. Um, they also interact with the external auditors. They partner with external auditors as well as external internal auditors. So a very, I would say, um, again, very interesting role in terms of ensuring the laid out SOX processes are adequate enough and they are being compliant to. And every now and then, they have this procedure of conducting uh, tests, whether it could be quarterly, it could be yearly, it could be half yearly, and they pick samples and they try to test the adequacy of a control defined in the SOX process. So a very complex tower controllership. You can spend decades in these 4 to 5 towers of controllership and still would feel that there is a lot to learn. uh, Treasury and investor relations. So Wipro has a very, Wipro is a cash rich company. We currently have more than 5 billion in cash. That is, more than 40,000 crores in cash to manage. So there is a dedicated treasury team who does, the cash management. They are also responsible to mitigate any risk with respect to foreign exchange fluctuations. Wipro has an exposure on the debtor side. We have almost 60% plus business in US and almost 25% plus business in Europe. So we are exposed to major currencies like dollars, euro, GBP, JPY, CAD, and so on. So and considering the volatility that is there in the market, these currencies move a lot. So their movement, be it a direct movement to INR or be it a cross movement across 3 or 4 different currencies. So we there is a dedicated team to basically strategize how the forex can be the risk associated to forex can be addressed. So there is a hedging strategy what they work on, and also they are responsible to generate interest income, fixed return incomes, and also returns on mutual funds and other investment that we do. So very interesting profile. um, then you have FP&A. So I am representing FP&A. Currently, I'm leading the PNL team for FP&A. It's a 16-member team. There's a separate revenue team, PNL team, order booking team, and we have MIS and automation team. So FP&A, again, very interesting role. The full form is financial planning and analysis. Here you get to basically you are responsible to ensure the right data are being circulated across organization, be it the business units or be it the business leaders or be it the finance leaders, so that a decision can be taken correctly. we are responsible to show the mirror to the business in simpler terms. What you get to do in a typical year or typical month in FP&A's life, you get to understand how we are. For example, I am responsible to draw the PNL, the internal PNL for the company. So how am I ensuring that each strategic marketing units that we spoke about in the previous slide, Americas 1, Americas 2, Europe and EMEA, how they are how they are represented in terms of the performance they have achieved. For example, what's the revenue that I'm reporting for them, that what's the cost that I'm reporting for them, how am I charging all the corporate loadings to them, or if there are the common cost which are sitting in corporate, or there are common costs which are sitting in global business line, how am I absorbing those costs from the SMUs so that I can track their performances accurately. So I get to define the the recovery rate at the time of setting of the plan, beginning of each year. uh, how how am I addressing the under or over absorption by charging the loadings to the strategic marketing unit. So that is just one very small aspect. uh, the other thing could be you are responsible to drive margin expansion initiatives across the company. For example, how AI is helping the company to save cost. How do you measure it, and what sort of tangible actions can you give to the leaders to drive those actions? So in terms of all the uncertainties that are there in the US market specifically, right, what sort of cost optimization measures that a company can take, right? So these kind of problem statements you get to have on daily basis or on monthly basis, and it's very fun as to how do you think a solution could work and you go about it. So again, very interesting role. Secretarial team. A secretarial team basically looks after the compliance to the company's law. They get to interact, they get to conduct the AGM, EGM, and all the board meetings that are there. Um the team is not relatively big like the way we have for other towers, but again, if someone has deep interest in uh, practical application of companies law, a very good role for them. Business finance, perhaps the biggest teams that we have in finance are from business finance. So we talked about how the Wipro, how the our organization structured. We have strategic market units and we have global business lines. So each of these units, as well as functions like legal, HR, or let's say uh, global ops, or let's say procurement. We have many more functions like marketing and strategy and so on. So each of these units from SMUs and GBLs and all these corporate functions, they get to have their own business finance partner. So, I mean, what is my role as a business finance partner? That essentially depends on the portfolio that I'm handling. If I'm handling a strategic marketing unit, right? Each strategic marketing unit that we talked about are further categorized into sectors. So sectors are, smaller units that, each SMU has 6 to 7 sectors. So if I'm a sector business finance manager, right? I am responsible for the financial growth of the sector. Now, how do I ensure it? I can ensure it by, telling the business to, by telling the business which contract is good to enter and which contract is not good to enter, which customer to continue business with, which customer I should not continue business with. I can tell the business unit that, how historically, an account has performed. For example, I am handling, let's say, a United Health, one of the largest insurance companies in the US, right? If I'm the business finance for an account called, one second, yeah. So if I'm let's say a business finance partner for an account called United Health, I would look at the historical performances of that account. what sort of costs are coming into that account, what kind of optimization can I do, right? In addition, I'm also responsible to get into the pricing of the new deals. If, let's say, there is a bid submission to a potential client, how we should price it. We have to be competitive. At the same time, we can't be margin dilutive. So it's a very interesting problem statement that I get to address. If I'm, let's say, handling uh, business finance of a GBL, of a global business line, then I will be more interested in making my capabilities more cost effective, how AI can benefit my capabilities, what is the cost of delivery that I'm operating at, what is the bench cost that I'm incurring every month or every quarter, and then there are multiple factors. So we have, good 500-600 people in business finance across multiple units and functions. Very, very dynamic role, one of the most sought after role. Again, business support, again, I clubbed this with business finance, but there are few more variations in business support. There is a dedicated revenue management team, there is a dedicated pricing team, and then there is a dedicated shared service team who manages dashboards and analytics. Yeah, so that's pretty much about the roles that we have in Wipro. Largely I've covered. Yeah, if there is any question on this, we can take it right away. Okay. So yeah, yeah. So here we have what we do as part of Cohorts program. So in Cohorts program, you get to there's a, I mean, you will get your first role once you join Wipro. You get your first role in any of the teams that I talked about, one of those teams. And again, it is going to put you a bit into your, not so comfort zone. I mean, you will be tested. You will be given to address a lot of problem statement, and you will have to come up with intelligent thinking. So it is going to be a very, I would say, the roles are very dynamic. Now, what makes Cohorts very different is that you're going to have dedicated classroom session every I think every 6 months we have one assignment, so there will be multiple classroom sessions to address that assignment. You will have a dedicated expert who will guide you, who will make you learn on a given subject. You will be given a case study to solve, and you will be asked to present to a panel. So that gets that happens every 6 months. You will be given a new assignment, and you will be tested in groups, sometimes individually as well. So the I mean, another aspect is that you get to rotate every few the first rotation gets due, I think, at 1.5 years. So you will be given the first role, and you will be serving that role for 1.5 years. Then you will be given another role, and you will be serving for 2.5 to 3 years, and then you will be given the third role. So by the end of 5 years, you will have a pretty good expertise in three different domains. So you don't get to see such programs in most of the peer companies, or even in companies that are in different industries. Yeah.
Avi, there are a couple of questions in the chat box. Okay, probably we'll finish the presentation and then we'll answer them.
Sure. Okay.
All right.
Okay. Yeah. So what you can expect to learn, again, finance and accounting part. It's I mean, while the terms are very simple, finance in itself is very vast subject. So you will get to learn business finance, you will get to learn corporate finance. If you are managing controllership, then you will be very close to accounting as well. You will see how I mean, whatever we learned as part of CA curriculum, how we are applying those Ind AS or IFRS knowledge while recording cost or recording revenues. Businesses, if you're, let's say, working as part of business finance, you will be very close to observe business, you will understand the rhythm at which things work externally. You will see your sales and delivery team working with a client, wherein you will also be invited in meetings at times, and you will sometimes you do get a chance to interact with client as well, in terms of any negotiation, in terms of any proposal that you're making, in terms of any outstanding issues that you want to address with the client. So finance has a very, very important say when it comes to dealing with a lot of external things as well. Again, we as finance will be very close to spreadsheets, irrespective of the role you get assigned. So you will be dealing with large volumes of data, how you interpret a data, how you can simplify a data, how you can automate the data. So again, it's very important. Yeah, we can go to the next slide. So, I mean, how do we end up, let's say, 10 years down the line or 15 years down the line? So, today, many of our cohorts, veterans who joined us in, let's say, 2006 or 2007, and, later as well, they are doing good in the company. They are, heading multiple large teams. We have, many people who are ending up as a role of CFO of a business unit, or a CFO of a company outside of Wipro. So again, it's a great runway for you, a long-term runway for you. You can imagine a good career growth, and it's there's a lot of learning, both in terms of the hard skills, the core finance skills, and also there is a lot of people management skills that you're going to learn over the time. Yeah. So here you can read about some of the success stories of our seniors. Ashok has been with the company since 2006. He is the CFO of America's 2 business, and he has, again, right now he's leading America's 2, but he has been through different roles, and over the years he has contributed significantly in the growth of the company. In the bottom side, you see Pawan Rao. He's the head of internal audit. He has been leading, I mean, in his previous stint, he was leading the Wipro engineering, GBL that we talked about. So he has again contributed significantly in the growth of engineering business. He's been with the company, I think, for good 19-20 years. Shikha is the CFO of Business Process Service. Again, a very large business line, almost 1.7 billion revenue per year. So she is, I mean, she has again, went through. She has gone through multiple, roles uh, in her last 15 to 18 years of experience with Wipro. Venkat Raman E is, he's a tax veteran. He has been handling different roles within tax, and previously he has, in fact, headed the FP&A team as well. So what I'm trying to say is that you can see a good, career path. Yeah. Tanveer is from my team. He joined us in November 20, and he's doing wonderful. I mean, he has contributed significantly to the FP&A function. You can read about his testimonials as well. Prachi again is from my team. She joined us, I think, a couple of years back. I think 1.5 years back, and again, uh, like most of you, she in fact joined us as a as an intern, as an industrial trainee, and she ended up joining Wipro. So now she is doing very fine. And Adarsh was from 2022 batch. Yeah. Yeah, I think I would ask Aniket to speak about his experience in last 1 year, and then we can probably open the forum for Q&A.
Yeah. So thanks, Avi. Hi,
Aniket,
guys.
just a minute. Avi, can we also just cover the eligibility and participating campuses for them to know that where would Wipro
Yeah,
be?
yeah, sure,
Then we can have Aniket take the floor.
sure. All right. So in terms of eligibility, the people who have qualified in the latest attempt plus who also qualify. I mean, the people who qualified in May 25 batch, they are they can appear provided the maximum number of attempts for CA final are not more than three, and they are willing to work from Bangalore. So we are going to go to four campuses: Bangalore, Chennai, Hyderabad, and Jaipur. So if this sounds very I'm sure this sounds kind of a very great opportunity for you. So you can enroll for these four centers and you can check your eligibility. In terms of compensation, what you're going to get is you're going to get a starting salary of 11 lakhs, plus you're going to get a 2 lakh rupees 2 lakh bonus, which is a deferred bonus which you are going to get eligible after 2 years. So the designation will be senior executive and the location of office is going to be Bangalore. Pariti or Vishnupriya, if you can also play the video we have.
Sure. Vishnu, will you be able to share that again?
Sure. Avi just wanted to check if you meant the video on our purpose.
Sorry?
I wanted to check the video you were referring to. Is it the video about Wipro's purpose?
That's right.
Okay. You can. I'll just take a minute to share my screen again.
At Wipro, we believe that purpose fuels our business, and our business fuels our purpose. Our capabilities in consulting, design, engineering, and operations helps clients realize their boldest ambitions to build AI-powered, future-ready businesses. And we commit to building a more just, equitable, humane, and sustainable society. With 66% of Wipro's economic interest pledged towards philanthropy, when you work with Wipro, you're not just empowering your digital transformation, you're empowering a brighter future for millions of lives. With initiatives that reach across 17 countries, from education to healthcare, from digital skilling to urban ecology, we fuel a cycle of prosperity that uplifts all of humanity. So when our global workforce of consultants, engineers, and technologists get to work, they're not just making business better, they're making a better world. Wipro, where purpose meets progress.
All right. Aniket, you
Yeah.
can take over.
Thanks, Avi. So first of all, congratulations everyone on clearing your CA final exams. So if you talk about Wipro, when I was like you 6, 7 months back searching for jobs and everything. So when I finally got selected into Wipro, my question was like how it's gonna be. Like it was a new experience for me to join a corporate world. So the good thing about Wipro is it will help give you a good kickstart. Like from the day I joined till the day now, I've never felt a day wherein I was like, this is something new. Like I need to do something in order to be included here. People in Wipro will support you. You can reach out to anyone in Wipro. Like in the PPTs, there were many cohorts who joined in 2006 batch or 2004 batch. It's like you can reach out to them at any point of time, whether they are in taxation team, you are in controllership team, it's fine. You can go reach out to them, talk to them. So the spirit of Wipro is it will include you. It won't make you feel like role-based company wherein if you are a junior, you cannot talk to a senior guy. It's nothing like that in Wipro. For me, I've been a part of consolidation team, which Avi mentioned. So my role is to consolidate Wipro's financial statements, like all the subsidiaries, including the main Wipro Limited. So for me, the 6 months have been a very good journey because I've been with the teammates who have supported me to grow here, and the basically my colleagues who joined with me are all doing well in their respective fields. So yeah, being in Wipro is a good knowledgeable wise, it's very good. And for the cultures, speaking culture wise, for which we are all tense about generally, so Wipro offers a very great culture. So yes.
Great. Thanks, Aniket. I think now we can take up some questions. So, Avi, we have one question in the chat, which asks about what key skills are you looking for? So, if you can just throw some light on that.
See, the thing is, we are not looking for any specific key skills. We are looking for someone who is eager to learn. If you are, if you are open to challenges, and if you are eager to learn, and you are, eager to get out of your comfort zone, I think that's good enough. While skills are something that you are going to develop over the years. What you have learned so far while preparing for CA and clearing CA are some things which are going to help you. But the things that are really going to matter is the practical application that you are going to learn over the years when you work with us. So not very not something that we're looking for anything specific. It's just that you should be open to work, open to relocate to Bangalore, and just get out of your comfort zone. That's it.
So a couple of questions also, are about that off campus if there's any opportunity. So we would like to, address it together as a group that Wipro is only going to on campus this time, and the 4 campuses have already been shared by Avi during the pre-placement talk, which are Bangalore, Chennai, Hyderabad, and Jaipur. So that is where we will be going for hiring.
Yeah, folks, I'll add this to what Paridhi said that in order to participate in Wipro, you have options to select 2 cities for ICI campus. So one of them should be, if you want to be a part of the Wipro campus, one of them has to be the city in which Wipro is going.
Avi, there's one question from Saksham, which is, what are the things that will make our CV attractive, and what are the chances of getting shortlisted with a good CV? So if you can throw some light on that as well.
I think what you have done during your articleship training should come out really nicely. Uh, but Paridi, tell me one thing. We have stopped doing test papers, is it? Or we will still do test papers?
No, test papers will not be there. So once we have the database, we'll do the internal shortlisting and then direct interviews.
Okay. Okay. So I think you have to, just call out very precisely what you have done. Definitely, if you have had some practical exposures to, let's say, SAP, if you have operated and if you are familiar and friendly with SAP, that is going to be an added advantage because we are based on SAP ERP system. If you have, let's say, been part of internal audits, um preferably of listed companies, that is again going to be going to be helpful for you. And if you have conducted statutory audits for any mid-sized company or a big company, any listed company, that is going to be helpful. Um, we are, I mean, expertise in income tax specifically, right, for individual returns or those kind of things, those are really not going to give you any additional benefit in terms of shortlisting. um, yeah.
Avi,
And if
there's
you
one question
have, yeah.
which says that I want to ask if it's okay. I have heard FP&A team is assigned making balance sheet task and costing related task is very limited. Is it the same with Wipro?
No, in Wipro, we are mostly focused on revenues and costs, which essentially is P&L. Balance sheet is something that is being handled largely by controllership team. So we don't get into balance sheet discussions very often. Our main KPI for or rather key deliverables for FP&A is to construct the business P&L, enable the dashboards, persona based dashboards, and identify the leaking opportunities or leaking problems that we can fix quickly to expand the margins.
Right. We have another question. Is global tax compliance also done by Wipro India? For example, US tax returns or other forms, etc.
Yeah. So we do have, people based in India who are part of tax team responsible for managing US compliances. And also we do have, some people based out of on-site locations, different countries, to, collaborate with the local consultant better, because many of the geographies and many of the, countries, we have very specific local laws that we need to comply with, and the languages are not English. So there we essentially collaborate with the local consultants who help us to file returns, or to basically help us understand the impact of any change in law better. So we do have most of the team of tax based in India, even for on-site locations.
Right. Hope that answers. There are some Avi, if you can some share some guidelines on how to prepare for the interviews, and I think Aniket can also add in that. A few of them have asked that throw some light on how to prepare for interviews.
See, typically you get to have 3 rounds of interview. Two rounds of technical and 1 round of HR. So in 2 rounds of technical, we basically look for what is being claimed in a CV is actually something that an individual knows. So try to be honest in your responses, and you don't have to be nervous. You can take your time. I mean, when we interview any candidate, we try to make them comfortable. So try to take a pause before you respond, and just be be honest and confident. If you don't know something, you can tell, you can call out that you don't know, but you can attempt, you can ask for, in fact, many a times we have given practical problems, or case studies, numerical case studies, and we have in fact given laptops to the candidate to solve it, instead of doing in using mental maths. So the key is to remain confident and to remain honest, and revision is going to help you to recollect things faster during interview, because the situation, I understand, can be very tricky wherein you don't recollect what you have just learned maybe one day ago or 2 days ago. So just be mindful of that, and try to be aware about what is happening lately. As in, you should have, for example, right now a hot topic is US tariff. So let's say you are very good at what you have learned during CA, but you are not aware about what is happening currently. So that is I mean, if you are aware about what is happening currently, that is really going to help you.
Just one thing. Actually, the thing is, quite a few of you have some doubt regarding the department into which you'll be going into. So, for the cohorts, what we normally tell is please come with an open mind. So, the reason is we aim to make you the next leader. So, for as a leader, you have to know what is happening in the whole business. You have to see from all the angles. Only then you will be able to make the right decision when you reach that state. So that is the reason. So let's say some of them have asked whether we can move into tax, whether it can move into FP&A. You can do it, but you can do it over, even initially, like I said, it's done on a random basis. But later on, the thing is you can choose, you can be a specialist, that's all fine. But initial stage, do come with an open mind to explore every department, because that's how you learn.
Avi, there's one question from Jayant which says, how is FP&A team different from business finance team or vice versa?
Yeah. See, business finance teams are, if I am, let's say, a business finance manager for a specific sector or for a specific service line, then my portfolio is restricted to that sector or to that service line or to that account. While my portfolio is restricted, but the scope in that account is immense. What I can do as a business finance is something that I can partner with business. I act as the unit CFO. We all understand what CFO does, right? CFO is responsible for entire financial health of a portfolio. So if I am the business finance, I will be responsible, whether I will be largely responsible along with my business counterpart to manage the growth of the portfolio, to manage the margins expansion of the portfolio, to ensure whether we end up doing right deals, right contracts, and we start exiting from bad contracts. I am responsible to manage the entire PNL of that portfolio. If I am, let's say, FP&A, right? If I am FP&A, I am the enabler in terms of data to the entire organization. I'm not the doer, I'm the enabler. While there is a way to influence business units to drive certain actions even while sitting in FP&A, right? But in business finance, I am very close to the business. I am in fact the part of business, I would say. In FP&A, I am just showing the mirror to the organization that this is how you are performing. So very, very different roles. Again, both collaborative functions, both are partners to the business, but very different.
Right. So Deepak, do we have any more questions?
No, I think
We have
very
covered.
nicely most of the things have been covered and taken care of. So I think we are bang on time, and we can call it a wrap. The last one question is coming from Ren Raphael, but it's regarding to some MBA. So I don't know if Paridhi, you can put some light on it.
Just let me just go through it.
I'll read through it for you. What is Wipro's current policy regarding an existing employee pursuing an MBA or equivalent postgraduate program while continuing full-time employment? And does the company offer any education assistance or sponsorship for such programs? So I'll just rephrase it if I've understood it correct. That while being on job, if I develop further skills, if I work further, and if I get some skills added on, so does Wipro supports in that or not?
So yes, there are multiple things that Wipro does support in once you have come in, and there are a lot of materials also that Wipro does support with. So once you are in Wipro, you'll get to know about it more.
Okay.
There's one more question on specific resume format or ATS. So there is nothing of that sort, Kunj. However, your resume is, that's fine, and there's no specific ATS requirement as well.
Yeah, that is something which we need to clarify. These people, all these kids have been running around with some self-proclaimed gurus who are trying to make them understand ATS friendly resumes. They are ending up paying thousands of rupees to prepare ATS friendly resumes. And I have been time and again telling them that, boss, samne baithoge, you will have some front talk. The person will speak to you rather than just looking at your CV. I think it's more of an IT terminology and IT resume screening process which is spilled over to CA process, if I am not wrong.
Yeah,
Paridi, am I
that
correct?
yes, that would be the case. So a lot of people have come up with ATS friendly resumes.
Arre.
So I think it's just spilling over.
Yes, it's like a chaos right now. It's a FOMO kind of a thing for all these kids. नहीं
Yeah.
बनाया तो खराब हो जाएगा career. All that
Yeah,
kind
but
of
the
stuff.
best part is, in person interviews, the resume matters very little compared to, what you're able to tell when you're in front of the panel. So the focus should be more on how you're able to represent yourself and how you are able to justify what's been added in the resume.
So I just wanted to add, people are doing these interview preparation workshops. Aniket, you are a 20 May November 24 candidate. So tell them, do they really need, after becoming a chartered accountant, a special workshop to do all this, or they can do things on their own?
So, um, going back to the resume part as well, guys, you don't need any ATS friendly resume. Like, okay, after becoming a chartered accountant, my CA articleship resume, that was the resume which I edited and put it everywhere, including ICI campus and to every job opportunities. So no one will see how good your resume is looking. Everyone will just look at your academics, your experience. That's what matters. And when you come for the interview, there's no one who can teach you how to be confident, right? Or no one can teach you Ind AS again. Like, suppose you're now chartered accountant. No one can teach you Ind AS better again. No one can teach you anything. And when we give interviews, the interviewer doesn't ask much of the detailed questions like it is being advertised like. They'll normally ask you some basic Ind AS questions, lease questions, and many other like taxation questions. As Avi mentioned, current affairs matters a lot. Like, if you are a chartered accountant, how are you up to date with the current affairs? So there's no need for you to take any like interview classes or some anything. If you are confident enough, you know what you have done in an articleship, and you know the subject of which you've studied in CA final, that's more than enough. So there's no need for paying high prices for any of the interview classes. That's what I mean, because I never took any of them.
I have to plead to them that they think that it is necessary. It's not necessary. And all thanks to all the social media on YouTube, on LinkedIn, people putting up, some people only starting everything with the related to money only. I simply understand cohorts as a paid MBA, if I may ask that. It's good that you are doing an MBA going into different cycles of the company. Nobody makes you run across the streams. And correct me if I'm wrong, Paridhi, we still have that case study thing at the end.
Yes, so as part of the program, that is still there.
That is
Once
one
they
of the best
join,
things where you need to prepare a case and present it. I always feel proud that some of my students won that competition at some point of time when they were recruited from here. So, all the kids, let me tell you simple. Matlab, if you really want to excel on something, you just need to accept things. Keep that open attitude. That's what Avi also said. So, if you have that open attitude to understand things, it'll flow. The interviewer should feel comfortable with you. That's it. And you should be very natural there. The moment you try to do something extra, the interviewer understands he's trying to pretend. So, very simple basics. The boring stuff we need to do, the disciplined stuff we need to do continuously, consistently, revising, refreshing what our degree is all about. After becoming a CA, a 10, 12-day work cannot do that. The sponge has to be good, the icing will not work. Okay, I think we have taken up all the questions. So this brochure Smita has shared with all of you. Even I will share it within our groups. But please download this brochure. This gives you the overall idea of the cohorts program also. I think we can call it a wrap. Paridhi, Smita, Aniket and Avi. So
yes.
we can be taking it up.
Yeah,
All right.
So thank you very much. I don't know how many times I need to give this thank you, but I still love giving this thanks to Smita, especially to Narenji and to Paridhi, to Dale and to all the human capital team. We only interact once in every 6 months. Now it's going to be 4 months, but yes, it's like plug and play. Karna hai and it happens. So thank you very much to Wipro team to trust us with this big responsibility of interacting with freshers. Thanks to all the freshers who have pulled out time and sat through and understood what it is all about, where they can make their career. And thanks to the speaker Avi Jain and Aniket also to be a part of this session and give it back to the candidates. I really appreciate your efforts. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Deepak.
you, Deepak.
Thanks a
Thanks,
lot,
everyone. All the
everyone.
best.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks, Aniket. Thanks, Deepak.
Thanks.
Thank you. So I'll be closing the meeting.
Sure.
Okay. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you.